Good morning, everyone. So I've gathered you all here today to talk about a pressing matter, and that pressing matter is globalization. Before we continue, we should first discuss about its concept. So, the concept of globalization has presented itself commonly in academic and political debate. The globalization debate has been around for a while now since its origins can be traced back to the 1990s. Globalization is defined as a phenomenon of increased economic integration among nations characterized by the movement of people, ideas, social customs, and products across the borders. Globalization refers to the shift toward a more independent and integrated global economy. The shift is fueled largely by one, declining trade and investment barriers, and two, new technologies such as the internet. As it is common knowledge, the informal economy consists of independent, self employed, small scale producers and distributors of goods and services. This means that the workers in this sector are, for the most part, not covered by the country's labor laws and regulations. In the Philippines, the informal sector workers comprise up to 38% of the labor force and therefore has a great impact on its globalization. We are here now to see people's views and the different sides to the debate about the sector and its effect on the country's globalization. The International Labour Organization defines the informal sector as very small scale units producing and distributing goods and services and consisting largely of independent, self employed producers in urban areas of developing countries, some of whom also employ family labor and or few hired workers or apprentices, which operate with very little capital or none at all, which utilize low level of technology and skills, which therefore operate at low level of productivity, and which generally provide very low and irregular incomes and high unstable employment to those who work in it. They are informal in the sense that they are, for the most part, unregistered and unrecorded in official statistics. Workers and activities in this sector usually lie outside the national laws on production, taxation, social protection, and economic benefit. The sector is bad. It generates employment and increases total production. It also contributes to the national income. The sector absorbs those who do not have regular jobs, who lack skills and education, and those who are searching for additional income. In this way, the informal sector contributes to the poverty alleviation in the Philippines. Investment or businesses may also sprout from the informal sector. This can help in the development of the economy as consumers are given more choices and competition in the market is further heightened. This also provides incentives for legitimate businesses to offer better goods and services. So why do we have an informal sector within the economy? Uneven economic development, wherein the rich becomes richer while the poor remain poor, and a government incapable of generating jobs for the Filipino workers are the reason for the persistence of an informal sector in the country. As a result, poor jobless citizens are forced to look for income generating activities in sectors other than the formal sector of the economy. For workers and investors, non-payment of taxes and other expenses required by the law provides financial advantage to being a part of the informal sector. Members of the informal sector are able to avoid long processes and expenses. Some investors in the informal sector refuse to have their businesses registered because they do not want to comply with the laws and regulations of the government. Such investors may also be engaged in illegal activities. Example of illegal businesses are prostitution, drugs, and the sale of pirated CDs and DVDs. Another reason for the persistence of an informal sector is the weak or ineffective implementation of laws. Because of loose implementation
In the informal sector is troublesome and unmanageable.
But it helps with the poverty of a country.
Wait,
Hey, I'm Jana. I'm the referee. I also got Jana right here with me. We're the moderators, maintaining that policy with the peacekeepers. We make sure everyone agrees.
We got rules to bring, so make sure there's no shaming. There'll be no fist fights, because all you gotta do is share your insights. No impertinence and irrelevance. Keep it relevant, and this debate's gonna be extravagant.
Keep that in mind, and peace usually fine. Now let's move along to the topic of this song.
Globalization is nothing but amazing.
And the informal sector, we definitely find intriguing.
We'll hear the latest news, see other people's views on the different sides, and devise this debate.
So fellow economists, this is your chance. So don't look askance to give it up for our first stance.
Let me tell you why it's advantageous. First, it helps people earn some wages. Second, it provides opportunities. And lastly, it helps our economy. In a country where many are jobless, the informal sector can help Filipinos be employed. I believe it is important in globalization since everyone is expected to have an occupation. What about the people who didn't finish college? What are they supposed to do? Just pick your garbage? The informal sector provides opportunities for those who are unemployed and lack education. Can't you see how it contributes to our country? How a sari-sari store can benefit our economy? The informal sector promotes Philippine productivity. So why not let's just leave it alone and let the sector be? Can't you see the point that I am making? How the informal sector can help us Filipinos in improving. That is why I say I agree. Let us help all those without a degree.
Globalization in the informal sector of the economy is troublesome and unmanageable. The government is not able to monitor the income flowing in this sector and won't have the right action for the given situation. Corresponding policies won't be imposed because they won't have specific information to back the claims. An example of this is illegal trade of drugs in different countries. Yeah, although the market is quite huge in this industry, it will not benefit the economy of that country, because it is not entered into the official records of the government and it's not any good. The informal market also won't have as much consumers as compared to the formal market, because people will be forced to choose one, and people tend to go to the safer and more reliable.
Whoa, people, I know we disagree, but this is a democratic society. So please, no vehemence and no savagery, but I gotta agree. The informal sector helps the people in need.
Employer effort is directed to the profit virus, nothing much to do, get it done in a day or two. There's relationship and interactions with the employer. If there are issues, you need time of permission, then you're after even pay your rent. You don't have other tax obligations. You know your product can comply with globalization. Handmade goods that contribute to the community. That's good, it's made by hands and left to, and got machines to manufacture. The informal sector. Employment within the sector of the economy results to no job security, unprotected labor with odd working hours. Unlike the people who work in the towers, the sector comprises of no pension money, but when incest come, you cannot avoid its sanction. There ain't no insurance for you to have assurance, as well as it continues the threat of dismissal. This also can be hard for you to make savings because you are sailing across the railings, a result of low wages, no paper to pages. Consumers ain't protected from products that are fake, considering that all are unsafe. An employer getting injured or sick in this sector means there's a revenue with no financial aid.
Try to say your stance, don't lurk in the shadows, we gotta advance. Make sure to point out that people get a chance, don't start a fight. This ain't a flight about globalization, we'll surely hear your insights.
Hey Yasta, it's me Dan. Can I ask you a question? How do I tell my colleagues that globalization is the future of the nation? We got freer trade, rapid change, foreign investments and higher wage, integration between the nations and liberalization. Need persuasion? Let me tell you. Poverty, alleviation, poor people can't afford schools, can't pay the bills without the tools. The informal sector providing jobs looked down upon, but they beat the odds. Street sellers on the streets, musicians giving some beats. These businesses start small, but with globalization they'll dominate all. This livelihood be changing some lives. Why don't you go and open your eyes? People gotta find a way to live through every day. So before you go talk, organize your thoughts. I thought I told ya, this ignorance is over. We're jumping from the margin to the grass, that's always greener. Technology be spreading the news, handcrafted items and recipes to new products in the market because of these creative people. Thank you.
can help the economy. A globalized society can help our country rise to the top. Next person, speak up.
They're just a hindrance to society, but they got no decency. And they just lying on the streets be walking at, then cause trouble, the police be chasing them. Like them when it's on the streets in Taiwan, they be up and busting when the cops start coming. They don't got no taxes to pay. Have you got something to say? Cause I ain't getting kind of fair. Plus, they ain't helping the stats of the country like GNI or GDP. Cause they have business they registered, messing up some basic records. Can't they find some real job and make some sales? Not just sit on the corner of the street because they failed? Anyway, my time is up. I've said my part. Now it's your turn to take the mic.
Oh yes, the final conclusion. The informal sector is really one of the solutions. It affects globalization and gives them motivations to allow the expansion and solve mitigation.
We would like to thank each and every candidate for participating in this very debate.
It's time to end this battle, but please don't rattle. Only time will tell where this is heading. But for the meantime, we should be going.
Bye!